It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margee McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Therapeutic Dose. I'm Margee McGee, and with me, as always, is...
Hello, everyone. I am Ramona Ramirez.
And we are here on another Thursday morning in the post-Orange County fog, or at least I am. I was just telling Ramona I took notes digitally this week, and that was stupid because I highlighted them all in order to make them bigger, and I deleted them all. And so here we are.
God, I swear to
I'm an
God.
analog woman and trying to pretend I can exist in a high-tech digital world is just like, whatever. I'm humbled and I remember everything I need to remember from the episode. Mostly Tamra's like final confessional look. That thing that was like Ronald McDonald red, but made of like Ren Fair crushed velvet. And then she had like a chainmail ascot and her
Oh my
hair was
God.
like this wild updo. Anyways,
Oh, that's right. I must have blocked it out because I don't remember it at all, but I was so stunned by her behavior
I think that's why I
that
had to focus on her outfit and her stupid, terrible hair
I
with her
know.
tendrils because she was truly in peak Tamra awfulness
I
this
mean,
episode.
honestly. And obviously, we'd be remiss if we did not touch on the head-breaking, some would consider heartbreaking news this week that Kyle Richards and Mario Umansky, have separated. And is Kyle or is Kyle not in another relationship? There are two Instagram accounts that I'd like to direct you to if you'd like a more concise breakdown of exactly what internet sleuths saw as the path to knowing this. People were speculating on this a year ago, at least. And so, yeah, if you guys want to take a look at an Instagram account called Face Reality 16, she has a whole multi-page story on her highlight reel that does like a deep dive. I'm talking an Ocean Gate level deep dive, but this one doesn't implode. I'm sorry to the 19-year-old, the 18-year-old. Was that terrible, Margee?
No, was he only 18?
He was
Oh
only
God, it's
18
just
and he
sadder
didn't
by
want to
the
go.
day.
He didn't want to go.
Oh,
18 or
he had a
19. Yeah, he didn't want to
whatever.
go.
It's
I know.
anyways.
I know. I just can't. And then the other Instagram account that I love, this is she's quote unquote an influencer, but she's so much more. Um, IG Famous by Dana. She also does something every month called Tea Time, where her followers write in. They write in with tea, and for years now, she's been getting tea about Mario Umansky. And obviously, if you've been watching Beverly Hills over the years, we remember that fateful trip that they took to some tropical island where Lisa Vanderpump allegedly asked Brandy to pack the Us Weekly with was it the cover story or was it just a story inside? I guess it doesn't matter, but
I don't remember, but it was
it
it
was
was cruel.
it was a full article based on, Mario's, oh my god, Mauricio! I'm calling him Mario. Holy shit.
Oh, you're in
Mauricio
a
Umansky.
Ramona head.
Fucking A. I'm sorry. Yes, everyone's, out there who's Mario? Mauricio, Mo Umansky, that he had been cheating already, and it was, I'm sure, one of the things that, over the years, led to the demise of Lisa and Kyle's friendship, in quotations. I don't know if Lisa Vanderpump is capable of friendships, and I believe that Kyle is. For all of the reasons that I have issues with Kyle, the way she's handling this and the way she's living is not one of them. I don't like the fact that she's always like, be honest, but I don't feel like she's honest, and I feel like she needs Al-Anon and she needs therapy for people that grew up in extremely severely alcoholic homes. That's my opinion. Put it on my epitaph. That's how strongly I feel about it.
Yeah.
Um, so those two accounts will really give you the breakdown. Obviously, if you feel like going into Reddit, which I highly recommend, not every sub, but if you want to go to the Bravo Real Housewives sub, you're going to find out things that just, non-Reddit users aren't privy to. And I personally love it. But,
But we were
so yeah,
chastised by Kyle and Mario because
for
they're
years.
no, but I mean, just recently when they were like, do not, they just put out a news statement saying, like, do not believe the narrative. We are not getting divorced. And
Yeah.
it was just like, oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Nobody was,
Yeah.
there was no wrongdoing on either side. I don't know. It's all PR, but like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I know that Instagram is extremely curated and we can all edit and filter to our heart's contents before we post anything. But Kyle does look really happy, but I remember noticing, like, I don't know how many months ago, she is going for like a more edgy rock star kind of vibe in the way she dresses. And you know, it's always interesting to see when that happens.
I mean, and if nothing else, it's like going to the gym all the time and like, it's
Oh,
this like
totally.
classic shit from like cheaters in 80s movies, like husbands who cheat in 80s movies were always like getting fit. And
Yep.
now she's, I don't know, who knows? I mean, they sure were going nuts posting pictures from their 4th of July weekend as
Oh,
a
I mean,
family,
like,
which I found
why
so confusing
don't
and
backpedal at
upsetting.
this point? We all know the deal.
And also, it's
Um,
none of our business. Like, don't if you want it to be none of our business, then don't post family pictures when you literally a day and a half ago said we're separated. It's just all, I don't know.
and I believe cameras went back up so that they could
I
film this
fucking hope
aftermath.
so.
I
I would
know,
hope
like,
so. You
it's
don't get to just
so
bypass that. Like,
no, you don't. You
no.
don't. And speaking of husbands that start working out, indicating that they may or may not, and this obviously this does not go. Like if my husband starts working out, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, honey, are you cheating on me?" He's like, "No,
No,
I just got."
there's yeah, no, there's other stuff going. I mean, because like
Right.
you said, there've been rumors of Mauricio.
Oh
Now
my
I'm doing
god.
it too.
Yeah.
Mauricio cheating for years, and like 30 fucking years is a long time. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
know
very
when you
long
start
time.
leading separate lives, and like, I don't know. Anyways, I don't think you
Uh
guys are there yet. I'm not
Oh,
worried.
no, no. I obviously, Josh would look at me and be like, "Bitch, when do I have the time? Do you or do you not see me here all day long, all day, every day? Do I not fall asleep in my chair at 10 o'clock every night?" Yeah, he'd laugh, and he'd never do it anyway. Speaking of husbands that cheat, I had no idea that Real Housewives of Miami premiered last night with a 2-hour premiere. Now, I did not have it in me to watch it because I was trying to get to bed at a decent hour, but, uh, we're gonna have to figure out because Miami is a hotbed of mental health landmines, and
I mean,
yeah.
was that just the Bravo premiere of the season that aired most
Oh,
recently
you're
on Peacock?
right. Oh my
Yeah.
god, you're right, you're right. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Because I was like, "But I need to talk about Nicole's relationship with her father," but yes. You're right.
No,
Okay,
but I
good.
think
I always
yes.
forget. I always
I
forget. They
I
said the
did
Bravo
too.
premiere. You're right. You're
Yes.
absolutely right. Oh,
Um
thank God for Margie, everyone. Thank
no.
God.
I saw the same thing come up on my DVR and I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And then I realized we're just getting it funneled from one platform to the next. So,
Yes, yes. Well, let's just jump in then. Another episode that was chock full of not only horse shit, but bullshit on behalf of Tamra and Ms. Dubrow. Although I feel like Tamra eclipsed Heather in this episode. She's
Tamara was
gross.
in rare form this episode and she just skeeves me out. She is the worst kind of friend
Yeah.
that a person can have. Just like, oh my God. Yeah. The whole thing started, however, with what I anticipated being like a huge knockdown drag out fight, just fizzling into nothing. We ended last week with Heather telling Taylor, like, you're going to make fun of my career. Fuck you. And
Oh,
we come back
God.
in and she's like, are we good? And they're like, yeah, we're good. And I was like, what? Okay, fine. Okay. So that
She's not
was that.
She's not good. She's simmering resentments, and she's always simmering the resentments.
Well, and she's
Um,
insane to, like, forgive Tamra. She's just insane. All of her choices this episode, I was like, "What is going on with this woman?"
I
Heather, I
I
mean,
agree. I agree. Like
it's
she
nonsense.
came she came in guns blazing. It's like, "Listen, I think that there's a way that you can make your mark on this show, and we know that they're doing a quote unquote job." They all love to say that they're doing a job. When Lisa Rinna starts to get, slammed by the fans, "Well, I'm just showing up to work, Henny." And it's like, "No, don't fucking try to gaslight me, bitches. Like, don't do that." Yeah, I mean, I just when Taylor told Heather to shut the fuck up, I was like, "Thank you." Or she told someone to shut the fuck up. Heather had to march off to control her narrative. Like, it's so anyway.
Well, that's I mean, then that led to Heather and Tamara in the bathroom, where
Yep,
Heather directly said, like, "Were you fucking like, were you being sarcastic or were" what I don't remember her exact language. Obviously, my notes are somewhere in the cloud. But she asked Tamara directly, like, "Were you being shitty about me and my career?" And Tamara, they flash back to every second of that
oh
conversation where
my
Tamara
god.
absolutely was. And then she's like, "No, no." And Heather's like, "Okay." And then off they go. It was just,
I guess we'll
yeah,
deal with that at the reunion because, I mean, it's
apparently.
just so I just listen, if this is Tamara's idea of friendship and Tamara's idea of saying I love you, like, fucking pass on that. Pass on both. I was offended that she used those words.
I
Um,
don't know how many more episodes I can take of people saying I am BD. I really know it's not a big deal, but like BDE is all that comes into my head and it's IMDb and also who cares, which makes me realize like maybe Heather is right just to drop this because honestly, who cares?
right,
Like, I
right,
don't know. I don't
right.
know. But yeah,
Um, we saw a little bit more of Ms. Dubrows' insecurity last night when she said that she was glad that Shannon and Tamra were reuniting as friends, but does this mean I'm gonna be the odd man out? Listen, so if I'm secure in my friendships, which I am very secure in my friendships, I know that there is enough love to go around. And I know just because two people are having fun with their private jokes, it doesn't mean that I'm being left out. And it was just, sh- I wish she would just say, I'm gonna be, I feel bad, not like, "Am I gonna be" I guess that's her way of saying, "I feel bad."
feel
But,
bad
yeah, she
about
feels
what?
she's nervous she's gonna be the odd man out in that
Oh yeah.
relationship now, and I wish she could just I guess that's her way of saying, "I'm scared that's gonna happen," is, "I hope I'm not the odd man out."
Well, and then she
Uh,
just screams from the kitchen, like let Tamara and Shannon like be drunk and
I
bond and
know.
look at each other's underwear instead of being like, I'm cleaning up the gummy bears off the floor, by the way. It's like, are you trying to be fun? Are you just trying to be seen? Like, why don't you? They're just so socially inept, all
It's
of them.
it's
And Heather,
contrived.
yeah, Heather, I'm getting a really good look at like money doesn't buy you the kind of security you want. Like, you're not guaranteed friendships. You're not guaranteed that your horse will behave. When she was talking to her horse, like, oh, here we go, honey.
Oh.
We're just little cowgirls now, aren't we? And I was
Yeah,
like, don't
yeah,
talk to an animal like that. It doesn't care that you're rich. Like,
yeah,
she
yeah.
just can't engage like on a genuine emotional level with like anything or anyone. That was sort
Yeah.
of my takeaway from this whole ranch experience thus far.
True, true. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen Heather photographed with other friends. I've only seen her photographed with Terry.
And her
But
kids.
I will admit that I avoid her Instagram because I'm not in the mood to see. I don't need to see more Heather Dubrow content other than when I watch this Fakakta franchise.
Mhm.
So yeah. So when they flashed that it was 12:45 and the three of them were still up, I'm like, wow, we are watching Heather scared. I do not believe that Heather Dubrow stays up past 11 PM on the reg. Now, it's a girls' trip. I really like it when my friends stay up with me late to, like, have lols and party, but I don't think she stays up that late
No, and,
normally.
like, Tamra and Shannon were awake because they were doing shots, that whole
Yeah.
montage of them doing, like, 15 shots, like, the next morning. I mean, that yeah, I've never been more nauseous in my life, but Heather had had, like, a glass and a half of champagne, she was very much in control. She did not need to be the reason she felt left out is because 2 people had had 10 shots of tequila, and one person
Exactly.
was cleaning gummy bears up off the floor. Like, we're
Oh
just
my
in different
god.
headspaces, so, yeah.
Totally, you're absolutely right. If you're not keeping up with the drinking, eventually the drunk people are gonna be on a whole other plane,
Oh, yeah,
and it's impossible. It's so hard to be able to deal when it's like that.
and you will be left
Um,
out. Guess why? Because they won't remember you're there because 'cause they're so
exactly,
fucking shit-faced.
exactly. And then, Heather, being like having her moment of whimsy. "No, throw the gummy bears at my face. I'll catch them." And obviously she didn't. In what world do we expect when Heather Dubrow is not having a moment of insecurity, deep enough insecurity to mention it in her in the moment or confessional? In what world does Heather Dubrow say, "Throw some gummy bears on my face"?
It did make me die laughing because she goes, "Throw me one, throw me one." And then they threw a whole handful at her face. Again, and I don't think they were doing it to be malicious, I think they were just drunk. It's like you don't know the difference between 1 and 50 when you've had
Oh
10 shots of
god.
tequila. But Heather's just such, like, a joyless presence. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Right outside my window is this, like, little kitten who comes by
Oh.
sometimes, and she's, like, favoring a paw, so after this, I'll check her out. Anyway, she's
Oh
very cute. She's just no,
no.
no, she's fine. I'm sure she just stepped on, like, a burr or something, but this has
Oh.
been I've lived here for, like, 4, 5 years? 4 years? Anyways, and this has been, like, a long time trust building exercise with this little kitten who used to, like,
Oh.
skitter past, and now she's just sitting here, watching a podcast.
She
Anyways.
knows where the safety and the love is.
Oh,
Yeah, of course she does. So, I was one thing that stresses me out so much about these fakakta shows is when they go on a trip or when they're anywhere and they make a mess. A food fight, throwing salad greens on Potomac, because I know that okay, listen, I can't 100% say I know for sure, but I would wager that they are not cleaning up after themselves.
of course not.
And
No.
I know that this might seem like a stupid thing to bring up, but I fucking hate entitlement. I don't think any amount of money should negate one's duty, one's responsibility to be a kind person to other people. A poor PA is cleaning up fucking Haribo gummy bears off the fucking floor. Or no, will be, but Heather did it, and I was like, "Okay, okay, Heather, okay. Thank you for cleaning that up. I was glad." Yeah, I don't like that. So
Yeah, I agree. I learn everything I need to know about a boyfriend on the first, like, hotel trip we take together. Because if they're the kind who just, like, leaves shit all over the floor and is like, "They'll clean it
mhm.
up," I'm like, "I hate you, and I
Yeah,
cannot stand for it." Like,
yeah.
it's
Agreed,
yeah, I don't know.
agreed.
You don't
I
rent the room for the purposes of trashing it and having someone else clean it up. Like, you're a guest. You're a
yeah.
guest.
And there's 2 types of people, the people that tip generously, tip housekeeping generously, staying a night, staying 5 nights, I don't give a shit, keep cash on you and leave that
Yeah.
fucking cash under a note that says, "Thank you so fucking much," because can you imagine having to clean up a
No.
room to be, you know, uh, to be pristine for the next guest that comes in on a
They're
time
not
constraint?
there are not enough rubber gloves in the
Nope.
world to put me
No.
to work cleaning up other
No.
people's, like, jizz and pubes from their
Yeah,
hotel stay. Yeah.
exactly. Oh
No.
my god, yeah. So, yeah, just please tip housekeeping and clean up your own fucking messes.
There we go.
Um, yeah, so I was wondering, like, okay, Heather and Tamra, I'm sorry, Shannon and Tamra, they were really bonding in the episode last night. They tend to bond a lot over these, like, crazy tequila nights.
Wait,
Um,
Shannon and Tamara.
Shannon and Tamara, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. And I don't know, like, having shots be the basis of my friendship with someone doesn't sound like it's super healthy. It does it sounds pretty fucking toxic.
It sounds
And
like exactly the friendship they have. Like, the fact
yeah.
that either one of them are surprised that the other A isn't there for them in a time of need, or B is calling them a drunk on a public platform. It's like,
Oh
but
my
that's
god.
exactly the friendship you have. You're only drunk, you're party friends, which is great, but, like, party friends don't show up for you. They don't just randomly check in on you. They call you when they wanna party, and that's fine. But,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, yeah, I mean, either these are their roles with each other. Again, they could be just doing it, quote, unquote, "for work," but I don't know. I just think it's it just yeah. I clearly I still have, the alcohol thing in that kinda situation. It just it's not something I can watch just being a neutral third party. It's
No.
gonna always kind of make me think twice about things.
Well, it is,
Um,
I mean, Tamra demonstrates just how, like, demonstrates, like, how selfish and self-serving an alcoholic is, whether
totally.
they're actively drinking in that moment or not. And Shannon is sort of like, I guess she exhibits that in her own way. It's, like, slightly more, like, tragic and manipulative, but, like, it's neither one of them. I don't look at either one of them and go like, "Hmm, that's the kinda lady I wanna be." It's
My
like, you're
god,
both
no.
unpredictable and untrustworthy and kind of frightening, so
No, yeah, I know. And I did have the thought last night, like, are they reuniting and it feels so good, or are they, like, booze bonding and falling into their own patterns? I guess if it's working for them, it's none of my fucking business to
Mhm.
you know?
I think it's like summer camp. It's like summer camp friends. Like, if you don't go to camp for a couple of years, you're not friends. And Tamara wasn't at camp the past couple of years, and now she's back at camp, and
You're
it's the
right.
good old days.
You're right, and it's not like Heather's gonna throw back, mad tequila shots with Shannon.
No,
She's
she's gonna count every calorie and pick up gummy bears off the floor.
Did you notice that she was drinking champagne out of, like, a whiskey glass? It was not a flute. She was not drinking champagne out of a flute, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what comment she made." Um, I wonder if she Doreed.
I was just gonna say, who was the housewife that commented on glassware? Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
Dorit. Dorit with
Yep.
her leather jacket thrown oh so lackadaisically over her shoulders, and I was all, "Bitch, you are so contrived." Here lies Dorit Kemsley. She was contrived as hell, period. I don't know. I don't know. No one needs to hear me rant about that. We're not on that franchise right now. So, Lady Marmalade and, Tamra and Heather sit down, and that's when Tamra starts to shit talk Jen, and we learn a little bit more about how Jen and Ryan's relationship started and exactly what kind of epic piece of shit this man is. Now, I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but I feel like in this instance, you can judge a book by its cover because he is foul, foul, foul. He's nasty. Yeah, so she starts to talk about Jen, which to be fair was riveting to learn the details.
Is this where
And
she reveals that Ryan walked in and said,
yes,
"I'm gonna fuck
yes,
her"?
yes,
Yeah, that was, big news.
yeah. So,
And but I
yeah.
also feel like that's how he says hello. Like, part of me is like, is that even a big deal?
Mm,
Because I feel like if he
mm.
sees anything that has, like, a whiff of vagina about it, that he's just like, "I'm gonna fuck
Whiff
that,
of
I'm gonna fuck
vagina.
that." It's
A
how he,
whiff
like,
of
takes
vagina.
role in the room of, like, there are people
Oh my
here.
god, oh my
I don't
god.
know. And I
Um,
also felt like that was another one of those moments where I was like, "Tamara, are you sharing this to shade Jen or to, like, boost your own fucking ego?" To be
I
like,
wondered that
"Everyone,
too.
I'm in my 50s and everyone in Orange County can't wait to get it in with me." And I'm like, "No,
Oh,
I don't know why
god.
we're telling this story." And why didn't
Uh,
she tell Eddie about it? There's just a lot of questions. I don't know what's going on.
so yes, so Tamra shares that when Cut Fitness was still open, Tamra and Ryan's mutual friend Heather, who again, if they're not wearing "Hi, my name is" name tags, I don't know who the hell these broads are because they literally look like exactly the same from one another. Orange County gonna Orange County. So Ryan and his friend Heather, who's also friends with Tamra, walk into Cut Fitness one day, and he looks at Tamra and tells Heather, "I'm gonna fuck her." And she's like, "She's married." And he's like, "I'm gonna fuck her." And this is allegedly 2 months before Ryan and Jen get together for their now 2-year relationship, which
And isn't it creepy that Tamra, having heard that or knowing that, hangs out with Ryan and Jen as a couple?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It could be some sort of sick validation thing that's serving Tamra in some way to feel like she's
Relevant or, you know,
pint-sized, baptized, and uh, uh, housewives may come richer, but they don't come hotter. Whatever.
younger.
Um, Younger. Yes,
Mhm.
younger.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
You're right.
I feel
You're
like
right.
that is her damage, and she's, something
Yeah.
about this is fishy. Her, like, broadcasting this on national TV before she tells her husband is like, "What are you doing?
Oh my
Do you just
God.
want applause for Ryan thinking you're hot?" Whatever.
And I got the sense last night that Tamara and gossip, that's like her cocaine. That's her dopamine boost, is when she can deliver these, you know, dun 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 revelations of gossip, because that's pretty fucking disgusting, you know?
It's completely
Uh,
disgusting, and later when we learn more about Heather and Ryan and their dick pic exchange that
I
Tamra so
mean,
blissfully reported, and
yeah,
then Jen so
yeah.
tragically tried to justify. I don't know, that whole the whole it's probably a good thing Cut Fitness is shut down because, like, nothing good was happening there in the fitness world or
Ew.
interpersonally. It was just a fucking cesspool of foot
I'm not,
fungus and idiots.
ew. I'm not going into, like, sauna warmed jizz and fluids. That's
No,
disgusting.
yuck.
Ew, you're right. That is I have been really obsessed with MRSA this week, and if I'm gonna get I know, MRSA and staph, because sorry, can I go on a little tangent? Is that
God,
okay?
please.
Like a little
Yeah.
teeny tiny one. I'll try to make this as short as possible. So, a couple weeks ago, we know that Madonna was hospitalized. Some were saying it was a bacterial infection. Now, when I think of bacterial infection and there's someone who has had a lot of plastic surgery done, I sometimes wonder, did they catch staph or some bacteria from having a procedure? It is a risk. It
I love that you
is
wondered, I
a
assumed.
deadly ri Okay, thank you.
Because I was
It
like,
is
her
a
face got so much attention recently for being all blown up. I'm
right,
sure she had some procedure to
right.
remedy some of that before this tour, and I'm
Yeah.
100%, yeah,
A
it
a
didn't occur to me
as
that
she
there was
should.
another option.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fair. Thank you. So, some people were speculating that it was really like an opioid overdose, and we do know that she had some problems with her with body pain after dancing that much, over all the years. I know Prince did. So, anyway, if she was in fact hospitalized for bacteria, there was a big discussion on Reddit in the Faux Moi sub, which is, again, can't recommend that one enough. People weighing in on how did she get the bacterial infection. There was obviously some people that were saying, it could be the result of having a surgery where she caught it. Net net, someone wrote something about never pick your face, because if you pick your face and for some reason the stars are aligned for MRSA bacteria or staph to be anywhere on your fingers or where you pick, it is literally a 10-second drive to the brain. And as someone, and now I do believe that my former face picking was ADHD related. I really, really do. I believe that that is kind of, at least for women, it can be a more of a common way that ADHD can show up. I'm not sure, but I know that it's changed drastically for me since I've been medicated for ADHD. So this woman sounds like a scientist. I mean, she's using hella scientific terms and she sounds like she knows what she's talking about. I trusted her implicitly. It was all very scientific. So I replied to her. I'm like, well, I am 100% scared straight from ever fucking picking my face again. Now, The other day, I got an enormous zit right where my nostril meets my upper whatever this is called.
Ouch.
And, yeah, it was the kind that throbs. It's the kind that changes the topography of your face, you know? I had an on-camera audition yesterday, and I was like, "This man's gonna think that my nose is, half an inch wider than it is," which, no problem with that. It's just and it was glaring red, the kind you can't cover that up with concealer. And, I was putting a little bit of topical clindamycin on it, a little topical antibiotic, and it came to a head, and I
Mhm.
had to relieve the pressure and the pain. And so, yesterday, I was just imagining myself I imagined, like, the superhighway from that popped pimple to my brain, and I was like, "Do I go to the ER and just tell them what happened?" Especially after you told me about what happened with your spider bite. This shit
Bee
is
sting. A
oh, bee
freaking bee
sting, I mean.
sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but that part of me is like, but that's how random it is. It's like, like you said, all of the stars have to align. I've had 100 bee stings in my life. For anyone who doesn't know, I got a bee sting on my arm and it was swollen for like, 5 days or something. And it was starting to like cut off circulation to my hand, but I hadn't had a bee sting
Oh.
in so long. And online it says like it can last 10 to 14 days. So I didn't give a shit. And my sister finally was like, you should just go to urgent care, and I went to urgent care and they immediately, the doctor saw it, evacuated the room, brought in two people with needles the size of like rakes, had me pull down my pants, stabbed both butt cheeks with antibiotics, and then sent me for intravenous antibiotics to Cedars because it was what the fuck, cellulitis or something. Anyways,
Yeah,
it had traveled
yeah.
all the way up my arm and it was so close to my armpit that at Cedars they were like, we have three outcomes here.
Oh,
You'll
I
be
hate this
fine.
story.
We will amputate the arm or you will die. And I was like, let's aim for option A. And I'm so fucking lucky. But they literally said you were hours away from amputation or death. And I was like, cool. I guess this is all to say it's so random. How can anyone know? Like, and that was a bee sting. We all get 10,000 bee stings, most summers, especially as kids. Like, I don't know how you ever know. Whatever.
Yeah, how do you know? How do I know if I
The
gave
second
myself
the doctor
MRSA?
walked in the room, he was like, "Oh my god, you're about to die." But, and meanwhile, this is after, decades of, face picking or scratching. And like, there's 100 times I should have gotten
Totally.
MRSA and
Me
this sort of
too.
staph infection. And it never happened until I got like a very visible, I saw the bee sting happen. I took the stinger out, I cleaned it, I treated it, everything you're supposed to do. But somehow that bee's butt got on a very particular kind of bacteria that tried to murder me. But
Oh,
here
fucking
I
murder
stand today with
bees.
both arms. I'm all good.
Ugh.
But
Oh my
yeah,
god. Oh my
MRSA is
god.
something that kept me from going to the gym for a long time when I read those
Okay,
articles about it.
yeah. Okay,
Ooh.
good. I'm glad I wasn't like because I was gonna DM this person that I had that little mini convo with and be like, "Do you think I should go?" Lest I forget what I would do to stall in college to keep from writing a paper, which was to make my face like a raw moon surface of picked
Oh yeah.
zits. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank God I'm not in that place anymore.
Those hotel mirrors, the like ultra magnifying mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No
In
good can
college,
come
I
from
was like,
those.
oh my God. And suddenly
Yeah.
you think you're doing yourself favors by trying to like, I don't know what
No,
I was trying to do, but
no,
nothing
no,
ever worked.
no,
Anyways.
no. So, net, disgusting. I'm not gonna. Didn't they fuck in the sauna? Didn't someone fucked in the sauna at
Oh,
Cut?
surely. I think, and
Gross.
by the way, at every gym, everyone fucks in saunas. I mean, at least in West Hollywood. Yeah. Do you remember the silhouette showers at Crunch
Oh, yeah. Oh,
where there were
yeah.
just men in there just flapping around, putting it on the glass? Like,
That's right. Oh my god.
they had
Oh,
to get rid of
jeez.
them because
Yeah.
it was silhouette porn.
Fucking A, man. So, we see poor Emily can't come on this trip because for some reason she tested positive before the trip started, but then she tested negative twice when they were mid-trip, but she couldn't make it, and in one of her confessionals, she is saying, "Yeah, Tamara's a dick. They pulled up the IMDb to be dicks."
Hmm.
We talked about this ad nauseum last week. Yeah, when you're friends with someone like Heather in that kind of quote unquote friendship, you're pulling up the IMDb to be a dick. I pull it
Yeah.
up to see voice actors constantly. I'll be like, "I swear that sounds like so and so." So I actually do use it for good, but in that case, we all know they were using it for evil. Tamara is the kind of person that will talk shit about you when you leave the room, but then act like your best friend when you walk back in. Those people scare the shit out of me. They scare the
Yeah.
shit out of me and they rocket me right back to 4th grade. And I don't trust people like that. I don't like
Well,
that.
and she's really living in the moment because, like you said, when she flat out denies to Heather that she was being shitty about her IMDb page, it's like, well, you're just postponing a now like really horrific fight down the line, either at the
Yeah,
reunion or sometime before, because it's on camera, it will come out. You know that, and you're willing to try to just lie a little longer. Yuck.
it's so gross. It's so gross.
It just becomes a bigger deal than it needs to be, you know?
I hate girls' trips where they have to do some sort of fucking work because I don't wanna shovel shit and I don't wanna tractor shit, plow, and they're going, and it's like, of course, Heather's gonna make her comments, and I did notice that she did go along and, like, lest she be looked at as high maintenance and not in a good way, but more as, like, annoying high maintenance, she goes along with it all, but, yeah, work trips, I don't need to see a work trip. I
No,
wanna see
especially on a
tropics.
farm because, you know, it
Uh,
stinks, there's flies, even, like, baling hay, none of it's good, and then I felt bad for Jen being left alone to, like, lasso with some, like, disappointed lasso instructor while Heather and Gina shoveled shit in a trailer, which also looked disgusting, and, they were trying to have a conversation that I was somewhat invested in, but I was like, "Get out of the trailer, get out of," like, I was just gagging in my house
Margee.
going like, "I can't listen to you talk while there's shit at your feet. You're in an enclosed space. I can see
Oh
the
my
flies
god.
buzzing around. We all know what it smells like. It's
God.
fucking yuck. Ew."
Yes, that's all I could think about was where the fuck are your masks? There was
Right?
equine fecal dust just swarming their faces and their hair, and it was getting into the thread of their clothes, and I know exactly. We're
And then
both
they went to
cringing.
eat
We're both
lunch.
oh my
Ugh.
god. I was like, "Listen, it's still shit. It's horse shit, but it's still shit," and it was dry. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. There was one Heather pushed one shovel load toward the camera, and it, like,
Ooh, the
fanned out with, like,
no.
grass and, like, but everything was the color of, like, diarrhea. It was fucking
It was
disgusting.
it was disgusting. It was
It was
so
really gross.
disgusting. And then it just seemed real hella contrived when Heather's like, does Chanel make a shovel?" Like, "Oh, ha ha, here's Heather
Uh-huh.
Dubrow's brand." So it's tired and contrived
I
and
know I'm fancy pants, but I'll shovel shit. But I'd
yeah,
rather do it with a
exactly.
Chanel shovel. Does Chanel it just is
"Does
so
Chanel make a
again,
shovel?"
everything's
I
so
mean,
written and you're so you just everything you were trying to do by, like, bringing yourself down to earth by shoveling horse shit, you just ruined it by making it a hilarious Chanel comedy bit.
shoo,
Can't stand her,
as we like to
truly.
say.
Oh,
Uh,
shoot.
in this part of the show, there were more men that, you know, uh make me fear for my life. I wanna know where these ranch hands were on January 6th because they clearly went to the barbershop and said, "Can you please give me the insurrectionist beard trim? That's what I wanna that's the look I'm going for." I don't know, maybe they're lovely men, but they
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I like to think of Montana as just like it exists in its own vacuum where they Montana people stay on their ranches in Montana because it's fucking beautiful. Why would you leave? Why would you go to Washington, DC when you could just look at that landscape and not be in a crowd? But what do I know? I did love the two campsite cooks. Those women were my favorite of the
Oh my
episode.
god.
Who were
Oh
like,
my
"Do you want to
god.
check on that shit show over there? No?
Yeah, where's
Should
my
you try this
wine?
meat?" I know. I
Exactly,
know.
exactly. There were too many tank tops in last night's episode that looked like the ads I get targeted with on fucking Etsy.
You with, like, the
The, like,
writing on them,
oh
the,
my
like yeah.
god. I'm a little bit cowgirl, I'm a little bit wine mom. I mean, something bullshit like that. I just can't.
I
I
can't.
Tamara is so fucking basic. She's basic, but not that pumpkin spice latte kind of basic. She's Orange County basic.
Yep.
She's Orange County basic. Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
even it's
yeah.
like it's yeah, there's no spice in that kind of basic. It's just bland, middle-aged white lady, like, exactly what I don't wanna be.
Totally, totally, and let's wear it with, when we're not on the dude ranch anymore, we can wear that tank top back in Orange County, but we'll wear it with an Hermes or a Gucci belt and tight jeans.
Mhm.
I don't know if you caught this, but I felt like Shannon in overalls and a tank top and some sunglasses and a probably, I'm assuming, a flat shoe. She seemed really comfortable in the work aspect of the farm trip yesterday. And I was like, she's not in super tight, they make those like slimming jeans. She's not in a pair of like slimming jeans over some fucking Spanx that go to your knee and a heel. She just seemed really chill.
Yeah,
And
she finally
I
didn't have Spanx on, and she could
yeah,
breathe, and she could relax, and she could have a conversation. Yeah, I noticed
just
that too this whole trip. I thought, I mean, even when they were pulling extensions out of her hair, the morning
yeah,
after their big drinking night, but she just looked, I don't know, she finally looked like not frantic and frazzled and
yeah,
like everything in her and around her is out of control. She just sort of was like as grounded as a Shannon's ever gonna
completely.
be.
And it's like
I liked it.
I loved seeing it too. I'm like, please do this more. If it means that you
Mhm.
need to like move out of Orange County and move to Montana, go.
And she
I can
made
see
more
her.
sense.
She did.
She was listening to people and appropriately responding to what they were saying, not just like flying off the handle about ridiculous shit that's like not on the table at any given moment. Anyways, I agree. That's a
Yeah.
very long way of saying agree.
Um, I mean, maybe she was just so hungover she couldn't deal and had to like couldn't muster up the energy that takes to put
Also
on a facade.
possible.
But she also wasn't being insecure. So you're
Mhm.
right. She let go of the Spanx, Shannon, and you're gonna be so happy. And I just felt like her confidence, like I felt like the real Shannon was radiating through.
Yeah.
So then Gina is saying that Tamra is the root of this. Tamra is the root of any of the shit show between
Heather and Taylor.
Heather and Taylor.
No,
So,
but you're right. Gina did mention, Tamara's taken shots at Emily. She's taken shots at me. This is like what Tamara does.
yeah.
So be
Yeah,
cautious. If you decide to go ahead and trust her, I'll let it go, but just be cautious
I
because
know. And
this is how
I
she do.
again oh, and then Heather said something in that conversation where she says that she did something nice for Taylor. And because she did something nice for Taylor, she expects Taylor to behave a certain way to her. Now, obviously, that's probably like the default setting that we all operate under. But I also don't do something for someone because I want them to do something for me.
No,
If I,
Heather, more than most, everything is transactional. This is my problem with
yeah,
ultra rich people who aren't in therapy. Is like if everything is a transaction, you will always come out on top because you're the richest. And that's not a human relationship.
no,
There is no equal ground ever if that's how you're gonna, approach your
ever.
relationships.
And it's gross. And I don't think any
Hmm.
of us believe that she has given up. She's not letting it go. She's resentful and simmering and it'll come out. It'll come out and it's gross. And then she goes and nourishes her body with watermelon and champagne and her fucking Chanel goddamn backpack and her lame ass boots. And just I think if she wasn't such a tryhard, I would probably not be so triggered by her, but
Yeah, it's like the try hard that's trying to make it seem like she's not trying hard, and
yeah.
it's like just decide because
Yeah,
I find
yeah.
she tires me out.
She's exhausting. She's
Yeah.
exhausting. It's really sad to see an adult, like a middle-aged person, and this would be anyone who's behaving like Heather. Oh, but again, there but for the grace. Go I, because, you know, you either work on the issues that you know you have, accept yourself with the issues that you know you have, act with an awareness of the issues you know you have. Be honest about the issues you are aware you have, especially when those issues cause behavior that affects your loved ones. That's all you need to do. I don't know why it's so fucking important to like be this controlled person, but I don't know. I'm not on reality TV. I think I would cry. I think I'd
I wouldn't
cry.
last 5 minutes. No, it would
No,
be
I don't think I
terrible.
would either. So we eat. lunch. I don't remember what they do after that. And then, oh yeah, Tamra goes around and says, "Everyone pack your flannel pajamas because we're going up." And so we obviously know they're going to go fucking camping. And I would have
Terrible.
protested. I would have been
Ugh.
like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I am not. There's a comfortable bed for me in this villa, in this
And
dude
a
ranch villa."
toilet.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
are we really just no. I thought the campfire was lovely, like, what a fun way to, like,
Exactly.
cook your dinner and hang out, great, and then let's take the little ATVs back to the toilets
Yeah.
and the indoor
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah. Oh
I'll be
God. And
curious to see if they make it through the night.
you're right. You're right.
Part of me was
Maybe
like, Gina's might just be reacting to be like, "Can I go home? I hate it out
I
here." And I would have
thought
done the same.
the same thing. I'm like, "Oh, Gina's smart." In this scene, Gina is trying to have a come to Jesus with Jen about why Jen's relationship is so triggering for her, because Gina went through infidelity and it's clear that she has not processed it yet. Also, there's no timeline to process it. It hasn't been a super long time since she left her first marriage where her husband cheated. I can't
Well, and
imagine.
she's
Yeah.
conflating the cheating was the beginning of the horrific experiences with her ex, and I think she hasn't, like,
Yes.
unbraided all of the parts yet.
That's such a good
So
point.
and it fucking sucks. I can't imagine being abused in the way she was and then having to work to get his felonies expunged so that he can
Mm.
support the family
Yeah.
financially, so that he can travel with the kids. Like, he's
Yeah.
useless to her as a felon. He should be a felon forever, but
Yeah.
she needs help. And so she has to devote her time and energy and money to rescuing this person who was so awful to her. He does appear to be rehabilitating, if not rehabilitated.
It
But
seems like it, man.
yeah, but
I
that is
really hope
separate from
so.
cheating.
Totally. Totally. I
So,
think you have such a good point. It's all lumped together. That trauma is
mhm.
all lumped together. Once Gina does a significant amount of work in talk therapy or whatever work, you know, that she's doing, if she's doing any, I that is the kind of thing that I think she could easily unwind with some help of ketamine therapy from
Oh,
from a good doctor. Yeah. Yeah. I don't advise anyone to jump into that right away. Or yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that could probably go straight into ketamine therapy if they had a really good doctor and a really good therapist to sit in with them on their trips, help them process begin or before the trip starts and then after. I think she could really benefit from that. I would go so far as to say that I bet in a short amount of time it would probably be something that she could really have extremely minimal feelings about and minimal triggers.
I mean, I was doing some more reading about like mushrooms and stuff for
Mhm.
therapeutic treatment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have yet to read an article where there was a bad outcome. It's either neutral to great
Yeah.
to super
Yeah.
effective and like immediate freedom from everything that was torturing the patient before.
It's
So,
it's true. It's truly I think it's a miracle. I think it is. I think it is. I think I've said it before. I do
yeah,
believe that it's I think that if world leaders were to do ketamine, they would probably world peace would be upon us fairly shortly after.
that's been ringing in my ears ever since you said it, that you were like, this is the answer to world peace. I was
It
like, oh my
is.
God, can we
It
all
is.
just like as a universe do a dose at the same time together and get over
Honestly,
ourselves?
oh
That'd be
my
so
god. See,
nice.
now if I was a billionaire, after I'm done feeding the
Hmm.
world, after I'm done housing the fucking world, after I'm making sure that every child has access to education and safe homes, yeah, then I'll be like, listen, world, you've done a real fucking good job. Let's all do some ketamine. Let's all get some headphones and some eye masks and some good trained doctors and some good trained therapists, and let's heal collectively. Kumbaya, motherfucking ya. Cut to, cut
It's so
to.
weird because there's so many billionaires that are involved in like the world of psychedelics, but they don't do it um, with a doctor. They just go to Burning Man and do it themselves and then
Mm-mm.
think they have all the answers. But yeah, it does feel like there's a very specific path to use those drugs to support a very specific kind of recovery. So,
I mean, it's the only way I know. I cannot imagine doing ketamine recreationally. I can't. I'm sure that maybe going to an extremely dark club. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Even then, I don't think I could do it in public. I need a very controlled environment. So we're wrapping up, and Jen is proving in this conversation with Gina that a broken clock is right twice a day, because she did say something like it's not her job to make Gina comfortable with Jen and Ryan's choices in how they started their relationship.
and I think she said it
Yeah.
in a gentle way. She communicated that. I thought she did a really nice job saying, like, I appreciate you being honest about something that's really raw and painful for you. And I understand that my choices trigger you, and I'm really sorry for that. For
Mhm.
your information, I go to bed at night and I sleep just fine. I don't know if I
Wow.
believe any of
I
that,
don't
but
know if I
like,
do either, but
but it was basically like a, I hear you and fuck off, and we're not gonna
right.
resolve each other's, you know, I'm not gonna make you okay with what I'm doing, and I'm not asking you to give me any more feedback about my cheating boyfriend. So
Yeah.
let's eat some bison and call it a night.
And then to piggyback off that, when we see Gina in her getaway car, I mean, camo golf cart,
Oh my God.
I really think I was like, "Oh, she's gonna go home." And then Heather follows her. I agreed with Heather in that she should not have called Travis. It is not Travis's to clean up. And I did agree with Heather that she has some work to do in therapy. Gina has some work to do. Broken
Yeah.
clocks, twice a day, yada yada.
It just is the source, like, I
I
thought it was
know,
really
I
controlling and
know.
shitty for her to hang up the phone, and I thought literally 5 seconds before at the campfire, she had just sold Gina out saying like, "Yes, you did tell me that, Tamra to watch out for Tamra, but you took it a little far when you said it was a pattern." So she just hung Gina out to dry, and then
Yeah,
she's like, "You
dude.
know what you need? You need therapy." It's like, why don't you let Travis tell her? Travis is an
Yeah,
adult. He can say like, "I love you so much, sweetheart, but you talking about your ex is really fucking with my understanding of our relationship. Would you
yeah,
mind
yeah,
looking into outside help for that?" Like,
yeah,
why is Heather the fucking like why is she like the therapy fairy godmother? You know who needs to go to
because sh
therapy? Heather.
yeah, exactly. Heather needs to do
Remember?
therapy.
Yeah, remember 10
Yes.
minutes ago when she was like, "I'm worried
Oh,
I'm gonna be the odd man
I'm worried I'm
out."
gonna be the odd man
Well,
out. Yeah, they're gonna
get
edge
some
me out.
help. But again, I hate Heather, so anything she does is wrong.
I know, I know, I know.
So,
Oh, I the irony is that I have therapy in 10 minutes and there is still so much to discuss. So
is there?
I'm gonna chat with you literally for the next 9 minutes and 59 seconds so we can get shit
Great.
in. God damn it, I didn't need to talk about MRSA for so fucking long. Mental health wise on the camping thing, I don't know how you feel about this. I realized last night camping scares the shit out of me because it triggers my ADHD so badly because it is not in my wheelhouse. I don't know what the fuck to pack. Actually, my friend Sarah gave me an extremely helpful spreadsheet once, and I think I have it printed out in like a plastic sheet to like protect it because it was so comprehensive and great, but I don't know what the fuck to pack for camping. I don't know what fucking gear I need for camping. I get so like, it makes me shut down, like, I power down like a battery that needs to be recharged. I can't deal, and I do believe it's because I don't know how to camp, and I don't know how to pack for camping without having to muster an incredible amount of effort in order
Well,
to
and it's
do it.
also okay to not like
You're
camping. Like,
right.
I love the outdoors, I love nature, and I love going home to a shower and, a bed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not someone who likes rolling around in my own filth and sort
Yeah.
of freezing in the sleeping bag most of the night and, like,
Ugh, yeah.
having like, whatever. It's
Yeah,
just not
yeah,
my
yeah,
jam.
yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
people who love doing it. I have friends who are getting ready to go on, like, a week-long Grand Canyon rafting trip, and they were talking about like, oh, we have to bring like Ziploc bags to carry our shit in it, literal shits in
Oh,
and out.
yeah,
And like, if you
yeah,
have to poop on the boat, you have to do it through a tube. I was just like, this sounds like I would enjoy nothing because I would live in constant terror that something would happen with my insides and I would have
yeah,
to use the poop tube on a boat.
yeah.
Fucking no.
I'm
So
not
I will
shitting on that
hike
trip.
down and I will hike out and I will love and appreciate the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
but like get me indoor plumbing and an
Yeah,
air
total.
conditioner,
Totally.
please.
I would day trip rafting, but I'm not camping, I'm not shitting in a bag. Yeah. Tamara's pissed because Gina calls her out. And it's just really like, are you fucking kidding me? And then she has the audacity to say that she's been stabbed in the back. This is an example. This is going to call back to our first episode that you and I had, Margie, where you point the finger and there's 3 pointing back at you, 4 if you count your thumb. And so she's just such a full hypocrite, full hip, as my husband likes to say. And I just thought the irony was she's audacious, dude. The audacity. The
Yeah.
audacity.
Well, and she was so caught. Like, I don't even remember exactly what Gina said, but whatever Gina said was right on. And instead of Tamara addressing it, she just goes like, "Oh, whatever, Gina," and just like dismisses her. And I was like, "Oh my God, you're so
Yeah. She can't dish it out,
mm-mm."
or she can dish it out, but she can't take it when it's back on her. Oh, she's yeah. I agree that emotional affairs are probably, in my opinion, an emotional affair would be more devastating than a physical affair that
Yeah, I
was
mean,
just with.
I agreed with Gina in that moment of like, if you're putting
Mhm.
yourself in the situation of being in a car alone with a man that you have a hot attraction to, and he's giving you a
Dude.
gift where there's problems in the marriage, you're making choices that are like really dangerous and likely to advance. But some people, that's the only way out of their relationships, you know?
Mhm.
Some people aren't brave enough to have a
Mm.
conversation with themselves and with the person they're in love with. So
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
they do that like weird, they back out in like the most painful, destructive, harmful way.
Oh,
So
God.
everyone needs therapy.
Everyone needs therapy, I swear to God. I don't think that Tamra is worried about anything. I think she's just living for drama. And if this is Tamra's idea of friendship and love, I will pass.
I think she
Uh,
brought Jen on this show to exploit her. I don't think she ever had any intention of having or maintaining a friendship. I think Ryan walked into the gym, pointed at Tamara and said, "I'm going to fuck her," then started dating Jen. And Tamara's like, "I'm going to be friends with Jen and I'm going to take this to Bravo producers and say, look what's happening.
I
I
I
can
need
facilitate
you.
a
I
big
need
drama."
as soon as we are done with this recording, you need to go immediately to Reddit.
Oh,
You need to start an account and you need to put that. You need to post that. You need to
oh,
post that. You need to make a full post.
that
Theory.
can't be news though, right? I mean, it just
I
seems the
don't
way
know.
Tamara is treating Jen is
It's
just
it might
so
it might not be, but it's blowing my mind right now. I feel like,
fascinating.
yeah, you're right, dude. Why I'm so fucking naive after all these years. Why do I take these bitches at face
Or am
value?
I so cynical? Like, it's just so hard to know, and it's why I keep coming back to watch these shows because 'cause I'm like, "What?" And it changes on my attitude going into the show, you know? I was in a I was in a bit of a mood this week, so I might have just been going in with my arms crossed being like, "Fuck everyone. Trust no one."
That makes sense. That makes
Who
sense. I
knows?
get it. I get it. Listen, we all our defense mechanisms are there for a reason, and
Mhm.
sometimes they are right. They are right. Uh, so yeah, I think that's it. Like Tamara, that's how we leave the episode. Tamara is a horrible friend. Tamara is a hypocritical bitch. Heather is acting like she understands the nuances of human behavior when she hasn't, to our knowledge, looked at her own.
And
And
the bison and the trout
the
just
bison and the trout.
continue to cook on the grill.
Oh God, no, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah.
I really my true investment in next week's episode is like who is going back to the house. Like I really don't even care how the fight plays out. I'm just like, are they really going to spend the night in those tiny ass tents outside
Will Shannon
pooping in a field?
bust out her bear costume again
Oh
from a couple
God,
seasons back,
I
um,
just who needs
and
it?
wear that again? Margie, we have 3 minutes, two
Go get your
minutes.
head shrunk. Do the
Um,
right thing.
well,
Yes.
let's end like on the similar note that we did last week. What can we what do we want to do? Two roses and a thorn. What do we think?
Oh, Yeah. I don't know. You tell me.
That's
My
okay,
brain,
okay.
my brain just scrambled. It just turned to snow.
One thing that I did observe about myself is that I was too afraid to tell the truth this week because I was afraid of looking weird. And it has been, like, on my mind. I don't think a normal person, if there is such a thing, would have spent this much time obsessing, but I also know that I can go back and clean it up in post. I can go back and, like, tell this person why I behaved the way I did, and it could maybe they'll think I'm weird after I make it a big deal, but it's like, is it gonna help me sleep better at night? Now that I
Yeah.
understand myself. And so, I guess a negative turned into a positive. Yes. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the same vein, I was super down, real sad this week, and
Mm,
but it's I mean, this is the beauty of like mental health training, is that I went to meetings, I read, some helpful literature, and um, yeah, I felt that sort of familiar like crush of depression, like hot on my tail. And
mm,
I'm not sure I got out from underneath it, but it doesn't terrorize me anymore, because I know after 100 million years of experiencing little spells like this that it passes. I know what to do to just sort of like stay afloat as the waves, lift me and drop me on
mm.
whichever ride like this I'm on. So yeah, in terms of like a negative turning into a positive, I felt it coming on. I tried to outrun it. And then I remembered like, oh, you're not faster than it. So
Dude.
just lay back into the lazy river, bring a book, call some friends, and, just fucking, yeah, every now and then it's a little bit of an endurance test. And yeah, so
It's such an endurance test when you're in that space. It's such an
yeah.
endurance test. I love you so much, friend, and I'm
I love you
sorry.
too.
And I
It's fine.
know
I'm
that,
just
yeah,
impatient. You know, when you
I
acknowledge, like,
do.
oh, I'm depressed. So
Yes,
now I'd like it to
yes,
be over. Now I
yes,
understand what's going on. So can we just
yes.
be done?
I get it.
And
I
it
get
just
it.
has to run its course. So in time. But I'm better today and happy always to watch Bravo and talk to you.
I'm thrilled to watch Bravo and talk to you.
And you have therapy that you're paying for like
Yes.
right this
Yes,
second.
I
I
do, I
love you.
do. I
Thank
love
you guys all
you.
for listening,
Thank you guys
and
all for listening.
come back next
Yeah.
week for another therapeutic dose.
Another therapeutic dose coming your way next week, and take good care of yourself.
Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
bye. Ramona and Margee are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.